I would like to welcome Miss Mandy Livings, the Coordinator of Extended Learning Opportunities with us tonight, and Miss Sarah Marr, Senior Director of Partnerships with Varsity Tutoring for Schools. Welcome, ladies.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the time this evening. I am very much looking forward to the next approximately 30 minutes that we will have together. As mentioned before, this webinar will be recorded. And again, if you do have any questions, please go ahead and answer or ask them in the Q&A. And we will have time on the back end to go through any of those questions that have not been answered throughout tonight's presentation. So, as a prior teacher, I always like to start with a quick lesson or a quick story, an origin story, if you will, about Varsity Tutors. So, we've been around for 17 years since our founder and CEO realized that his own high dosage tutoring experience was a real game changer. So, in 2007, he started Varsity Tutors as a chance to create impactful tutoring opportunities, specifically in a virtual environment so that geography no longer was a factor when it comes to finding high quality instruction. Then, fast forward to 2021, Varsity Tutors for Schools was born as a separate entity to directly support school systems as significant requests for one to one and small group interventions came in from across the country due to the COVID pandemic. But our ability to help schools scale tutoring and provide services to every single student has been a huge asset for our partners like Prince William County Public Schools. And in the last year alone, we've delivered more than 5 million hours of personalized tutoring to students. Now, in our lifetime, we have supported over 1,000 school district partners, and in Virginia, we have over 40 partners. Um, but if you do look us up on the New York Stock Exchange, you will find out. You'll look for our parent company, which is Nerdy. But when you look us up, you'll find that we are well capitalized, debt free, with resources to make good on our commitments over time. And what this means is that you can expect us to continuously enhance our offerings to meet your students' unique and evolving needs. So, as I mentioned before, we know that your students, they require support in real time, like, for example, homework help. So we're committed to providing platform access to every single student in Prince William County. Now, our platform is our launching point for all things tutoring, and it offers that real-time support. However, it's key to note that these useful tools do support students in real time, but they're less useful when students cannot self-identify where they need help or pinpoint any learning gaps that may pre-exist. So we encourage students when they first log in to take some of those assessments or the self-study practice problems. What that will allow students to do is it's a diagnostic adaptive assessment. It highlights areas of growth that students need to master in specific subject areas. Then there are practice problems that students can work through that align to those specific areas of growth. So if students have questions beyond some of those areas where they may want to continue working on, we have 24/7 chat-based tutoring available in K through 12 core subject areas. Now, as it relates to reading and writing, students can also submit any writing sample to our essay review and receive feedback from a tutor who does have plagiarism detection software, which checks against all AI tools. But we continuously want students to engage in the platform since this is a student directed and student in specific tool. So to encourage students to engage and to log in, we have 100 live classes every single week that are unique and available to students that have a wide range of interests. They are celebrity-led courses, some are college and career readiness, others are general enrichment opportunities, and others do align to some subject area support. For example, Some of the live classes that students can engage in are specific to college and career readiness. So we have a whole array of college support classes, specifically preparing students for entrance exams like ACT, PSAT, and the SATs. We also offer workshops with college admissions counselors, like the one on the screen here, who's a former Harvard admissions counselor. They host college application workshops, crafting that perfect application or that personal statement, and advising students on certain admission strategies. And then looking at the career tracks, we want students to be passionate about the subjects that they're studying, and they need to be able to explore what some of those interest areas might be. And so, to align with high wage careers and that are in high demand, we have classes and courses that are available in areas like coding and IT, health, um, and business and entrepreneurship, just to name a few. But I do want to pause and share with you an overview video of the free platform, which every single student has access to and can log into right now. And then I will go live into the platform so you can see it in real time. But first, here's a short introductory video.
Welcome to Varsity Tutors for Schools, the leader in live online learning. Varsity Tutors for Schools gives you 24/7 access to a collection of powerful learning tools and resources designed to support your learning goals. Connect with an experienced tutor at any time with 24/7 on-demand chat tutoring for immediate academic help. Elevate writing skills to new heights with on-demand essay review and coaching, ideal for crafting outstanding essays, especially for college applications. Choose from hundreds of live group classes each week where students get expert instruction and collaborate with their peers. Elevate academics and dive deeper with course-specific content. Prepare for higher education with test prep and admissions classes as part of our college and career readiness offering. Cultivate curiosity through enrichment classes covering topics from coding to game design and beyond. Learn from the icons with celebrity-led STAR courses and take a star-studded journey through captivating subjects. Varsity Tutors for Schools personalizes learning for every student and creates a roadmap for their success. Practice tests help identify strengths and areas for improvement. Those test results help define a personal learning plan. Self-study and practice problems then provide the support needed to master specific skills and foster success. Unlock unlimited access to a world of knowledge and personalized learning today. Access the platform through your school portal and click on the Varsity Tutors icon. Your child's academic success starts here at Varsity Tutors for Schools.
Perfect. So at this point, I want to share a little bit about the tutors who are supporting your students with the chat-based tutoring and the essay review. And our tutors, while we have 40,000 tutors across the United States who support students on our platforms, they've all gone through a rigorous vetting process, which really is setting a high bar for what our expectations are of our tutors who are supporting your students in real time. So our tutors, in order to become a tutor at Varsity Tutors, you have to be an expert in the subject matter that you're supporting. And through this, they have to pass a series of exams that support those particular subject areas. In addition, we need to show and they need to demonstrate that they can understand the concepts and then also scaffold that instruction to really help students master the skills that they're working on and that they're asking for help in. Now, we prove this through a simulation session. So there's a virtual classroom, and tutors have to go through a simulation tutoring session so that, again, we can see that they explain the concepts clearly. And every single tutor who works with students, before they even get to Varsity Tutors, they must have previous teaching or tutoring experience. And many of our tutors do come to us with a wealth of advanced degrees, whether it's master's degrees, PhDs, they work in higher ed situations, and they've had specific practicum experience working with students in a virtual environment. And then, of course, all of our tutors must clear our background check process, and we do have ongoing checks in real time to note any reportable changes that may occur. So, I want to highlight how students sign on. As I shared earlier, your students can go right now into the Varsity Tutors app and follow along as I'm about to go live. How they access this is by signing into Clever and look for the Varsity Tutors app or icon. From here, students will click on it and will immediately launch them into the live learning platform. So what does that live learning platform look like? Well, when a student logs directly in, this is what they will see. Anything that they have signed up for, like those live classes that are up and coming, will populate here as their reminder of what's coming up next. And you'll notice that that unique link for that student to join that particular live class will appear 15 minutes before the session. So immediately, if a student has a quick homework help question, go ahead and chat with a tutor. If they want to submit any writing to get asynchronous feedback within 48 hours, they can do so through the essay editing app. And then if they want to explore some of those live classes like the celebrity-led classes or college and career readiness opportunities, this is a great place to click and review. However, what I recommend students do immediately upon entering is scrolling down where it says My Subjects. They can do one of two things. First, they can add the subject that they are most interested in or are looking to receive support in. For example, this demo student uploaded elementary school math. The What happens once a subject is uploaded onto the page, onto that home page, is that the program or the platform will recommend topics, whether it's live classes or recorded classes or practice problems that students can engage in within that particular subject area, almost creating a unique playlist for that student to work through based on that particular subject area. So, for example, there are some live classes coming up in elementary school math, like fundamentals of fraction, multiplication, and division. It's appropriate for grades 3 through 5, which aligns to elementary school math. The student, if they were interested, can click on the schedule and sign up for that particular class if it's of interest. They're also on-demand videos. So this is a great way to supplement screen time if a student is on their cell phone or on social media. Instead, they can plug in by coming here and watching some on-demand videos that align with the content area that they need support in or that they're engaged in. And then again, the assessment. The assessment, it's optional. No students really like to take an assessment, but it is valuable in the way that it personalizes the experience for students and it shows them where some pre-existing gaps may lie so that they can master that and feel confident in the skills that they're working on in real time in their classroom. In addition, the outcome of that assessment will align to these practice problems directly, so students know exactly where to go and how to receive help based on the outcome of that assessment. So, option one, go ahead and have your student add a new subject to their homepage so they can explore and get recommended support in that particular subject area. The second option is to go ahead and just take the assessment for the particular subject area that the student needs extra support in, and then the practice problems will align. But as you can see, there are several subjects that a student can add. You can go ahead and select the different categories, whether it's test prep, like the ACT, SAT preparation, professional certifications. So if you have high schoolers who are exploring and different professional certification preparation, whether it's in the health science field or other professional certifications that you are able to get after a high school diploma, we do have support here for that. In addition to enrichment, world languages, and other particular content areas. You can even filter based on grade level. So again, if students want to get a head start and a fresh look into what's happening in college, or if students in younger grades want to focus on what has happened in the past or what's happening in the future, you can go ahead and filter on the grades that are most appropriate. Now, you can also go up here and toggle through and see the different particular subject areas. You can explore the live classes in addition to coding classes through Codeverse. And if you do have any sessions like Chat with a Tutor that have already occurred, you can click on past sessions since every single session with a tutor is recorded. You can go back and review, your student can go back and review so that they can revisit skills that they may have mastered during real time with that chat-based tutor. Now, if you do want to explore some live classes, you can go and do so by clicking Explore Live Classes, and it will take you to this particular page. Now, parents, if you want to go and explore on your own to recommend courses to your students, you can simply type in varsitytutors.com/classes, and you'll be able to pull this particular page up. It's the exact same view that students have, where you can see some upcoming classes that are available, like Secrets of SAT Math, or even the wild world of swamps. So you can see the variety of opportunities that students have. I also want to note, understanding the FAFSA form. There's been a lot of changes to that particular form as it relates to free application for federal student aid for high school students looking to go to college and getting federal aid. So we do have a course coming up in December. So I did just want to call that out as well. So that is the experience that students can have when they log into the portal through Clever. I do want to take a moment and show you an example of what chat-based tutoring looks like, since we do have this opportunity available.
Sign into Varsity Tutors through your school portal. Then select Chat with a Tutor or the Get Started button. Next, you'll select your preferred language, choose a subject, and submit a question. Clicking Start Session will automatically match you to a tutor standing by. We understand the importance of visuals when asking questions, so we give you options. You can draw on the shared whiteboard, upload a file, or share an image of your assignment. Because there is no limit to the tutoring session, you can take as much time as you need. All content gets saved so you can reference sessions in the future. Once you're finished, select Leave Session, and you'll have the option to leave feedback, helping us to continually improve the learning experience.
Okay, so to summarize some of the ways that you can support your students at home, um, some tips and tricks include encouraging your student to explore the platform. As we shared with you, every single Prince William County student has access to the Varsity Tutors app through Clever. So log into Clever. I encourage you to do so this evening or tomorrow and have your student explore the platform. Let them find a class that they are interested in, whether it's in drawing or an enrichment area, public speaking, college and career readiness, coding. There are a variety of subject areas that we want students to get excited about so that they continue engaging and find out what their passions are for their future. In addition, if there is an upcoming quiz or test, or if your student comes home with questions on homework, encourage them to log in and work with that chat-based tutor. Again, the tutors are available 24/7. So it can be before school, students can log in at school during a study hall or an intervention block. They can absolutely do so at home after hours and even on weekends. And then I encourage you to have your student watch one of the recorded videos to replace screen time. So whether it's screen time through social media or watching a television show, instead encourage your child to watch one of the recorded classes, whether it's in a subject area that they need help in or an area of passion or interest, like an enrichment, for example. And then next, I highly encourage you to take advantage of the SAT, ACT, and career exploration resources. These are so robust and powerful, and they are around the clock available, whether it's during the semester or even during winter breaks and holidays. So when students are actually out of school, we still offer these opportunities that students can take advantage of. So with that, I would like to thank you for attending tonight's information session. We are so proud to be a Prince William County Public Schools partner, and we look forward to supporting your students in real time. And if you do have any additional questions, please feel free to go to the Prince William County website, where you will be able to find resources and reminders of the different tools available to your students through Varsity Tutors for Schools. Now I will pause and look through some of the questions. Um, so there are a few questions around accessibility in terms of the governor's school and if students do have access. My understanding is that yes, even the governor's school students have access to this. And if that is something that you are not seeing on your app, please just connect with Mandy's team and we'll make sure that we get those students enabled with access if they don't already have it. Perfect. I'm seeing a question around supporting students with special needs. Yes, we do. So the platform does meet all federal accessibility guidelines. So students with special needs should be able to access the tools and resources. If there is additional one-to-one intervention support that requires video-based tutoring, kind of like where we are on a Zoom call, where video and audio, and you can see someone. Please go to your school principal, and we can work directly with them to provide additional services for one-to-one support or even small group support for those students if you do find that there are some barriers to entry for your students. Questions around resources available for kindergarten. When it relates to kindergarten, I would absolutely go onto the platform and filter based on that particular grade level. But we do have kindergarten resources as it relates to um, kindergarten math and reading. We also have classes and live classes available for grades all the way down to kindergarten as well. So we have story times, we have music classes. So there's a lot of ways to engage through the platform, kindergarten through 12th grade. So similarly, as what I mentioned around students who might need additional support through the special ed program, the same goes into play or into effect with students who are English learners. If an English learner student needs um, a tutor to speak to in their native language that is not Spanish, then I recommend reaching out to the principal, and we can always connect a student with a tutor who speaks in that native language with additional supports. However, in the platform currently, students can chat with a tutor in Spanish. And as part of our product roadmap, hopefully by December, we will see additional languages being offered through chat-based tutoring as well. But at the current moment, chat-based tutoring is available in English and Spanish. And then in terms of support for AP classes and advanced classes, the chat-based tutoring support is for core content areas. However, we do have IB AP classes that are available through the live classes that we host every week, in addition to practice tests and on-demand videos and practice problems to support students who are preparing for those exams. And I'm sorry that the QR code has been deactivated. Thank you, Mandy, for adding the web link in the chat. So if you would like to access the Prince William County webpage that is on the screen, Mandy Livings has included that URL in the chat.
And we did have one question about the filter buttons. I guess they were saying it looked different on their screen than it did in the demo.
Interesting.
And then if they have the share screen option on the chat tutoring.
Yes. So on the chat tutoring, You absolutely are able to share a screen. You're also able to take a handout and take a snapshot of a piece of paper or something that's tangible, and it will upload directly onto the collaborative whiteboard that the tutor and the student can then work on top of together. And the student can then save that work page, the whiteboard page, as a PDF, either print it or save it on some sort of drive that they can then share with their teacher if needed. So you can also take snapshots and screen share with the tutor. And the chat-based tutoring is available 24/7. Now, the different screen views, it might just be the fact that I'm not part of Prince William County. The demo that I showed you is my own personal demo. So if the view is different, there are a few different ways that you can filter to see the different classes. So I can go back and show you if you would like. So the first thing that I would recommend doing, you can filter based on subject areas up here, and you can explore all the different subject areas that are available. You can see here some of the enrichment classes. The other option is to go to my subjects and add a new subject, and that will allow you to then filter based on grade level or the different categories, the different subject areas. Great questions this evening. Well, I'm not seeing any new questions in the chat. This presentation has been recorded. And so for those of you who would like to rewatch or refer back to this at any moment, at any time, this will be hosted on, I believe, the Prince William County website. So that will be available to you to rewatch this recorded presentation. In the meantime, I do want to say thank you so much for this time this evening. That summarizes and concludes the presentation for this evening. Thank you so much for your attendance. And again, we look forward to supporting your students and appreciate your partnership. Thank you so much.
Faith, if you're still on, did you have a question? I know you had your hand raised. I unmuted her so she could speak. All right. Thank you for everyone for attending tonight. I am placing a survey in the chat. If you could please fill out that survey to let us know what you would like for additional presentations, we would appreciate it. Have a great evening, everyone.